8. I welcome you all. Today we will be talking about a journey that connects health and prevention with meaningful work. The company Veda is changing the way we look at taking care of our bodies, but also how we can build our lives and income. Today I have invited Regional Director Ingrid Kolarova to help us understand this better. Why Veda in particular? Does it attract people who want more health, freedom, and fulfillment? So hello and welcome. Thank you.
Janko, thank you for the welcome.
As my first question, I'd like to ask you how you got involved with Veda and why you decided to collaborate. What was the trigger?
Hmm. Great, that's a good question to start with. I joined Veda a little over a year ago. I registered at the end of August last year. And at that time, I was in a really complicated life situation. My friend Vladka Pavlikova came to visit me and started telling me about Veda. But at that time, I was actually with a completely different company and I wanted to build my career there. I wasn't planning on anything else at all. To go into something new. I kept looking for ways to succeed there, even though the conditions had changed a lot and the whole direction of the company shifted, which I no longer really resonated with. But I just didn't want to start something new. I wanted to find a way to break through there. But as the saying goes, man proposes, God disposes. As she was telling me about these products and this company, I just listened and listened. And the longer I listened to her, the more interested I became. I was curious. I wanted to try it. I even had that urge to give it a shot. But still, that program in my head kept saying, I won't register. I'm not going into something else. But I really wanted to try those products. And then, as we left it open, she left. And my husband, who had been listening to the whole thing, said to me, he said, think about it. This kind of opportunity doesn't come around every day. This really caught my attention. I would really like to try it myself. And so I thought to myself, what if he's right? What if I'm struggling somewhere all alone, basically without any support? And here is something that could be a once in a lifetime chance. So I told myself, I'm going to give it a try. If it works, then nothing could stop me anymore. And that's exactly how it was. I tried the products. First, there were corrective insoles for shoes, then glasses, and then other products. I had fantastic results with the glasses. Honestly, I didn't even expect something like that to happen to me. And I also had very good results with the corrective insoles. After just 2 weeks, I could feel changes. My stability improved, and a certain tension in me was released. My ankles felt better, and I walked with more confidence. I walked more upright and I could feel the energy. I felt energized. I literally thought to myself, what is this? What kind of product is this? And with the glasses, I had an absolutely amazing experience. Besides the fact that, well, I often use them at the computer. Now we saw each other with prescription glasses, but I usually put these on top of my prescription ones. It would just look weird now. But honestly, I really felt that my eyes were much less tired. My eyes felt completely fine. They weren't strained, they weren't red. When I was driving, I noticed that my eyes weren't as tired. But the biggest, the most significant result was that I used to have this specific kind of headache, and it wasn't a typical migraine or regular headache, but a very specific, very unpleasant short-term one. It didn't last long, but it started happening more and more often. And it was this tight, uncomfortable feeling, and this completely went away. After 2 weeks, I realized that I just didn't have it anymore. And it's been a year now, and I really don't have it. It's just completely gone. I didn't expect that at all. And that's what convinced me, what made me say, okay, this really is something special. So I decided to go for it. It wasn't an easy decision, but I made it. And I can say it turned my life upside down in a positive way. I'm truly happy because here I've met some amazing people, people I really connect with, people I just get along with. We're on the same wavelength, and honestly, things are going incredibly well. I've never experienced anything like this before, so that's about it.
And your experiences. Could you tell us a bit about your background and how you got started with the company Veda? So here's a question. In your opinion, what sets Veda apart from other network marketing companies? What would you say to that?
What sets it apart from other companies? Well, it's clear that it's different. I mainly see this difference in the product line because Veda came with something I haven't found in other companies, and that's technology. It's not just about dietary supplements anymore, although I consider those very important to use nowadays, since food today is very nutritionally poor. So supplements are really important. And in most companies, there are dietary supplements everywhere, and they're all high quality. So that's fine. But they're still just supplements and cosmetics. Some oils, cleansers, and so on. It was always the same thing over and over. But here it was different. I discovered something here that completely fascinated me, and that's technology. Because I've been involved with health and health prevention my whole life, prevention is really important to me. And the fact is, we're not just physical bodies. Nutritional therapy is great, it's part of prevention, but we're not just physical bodies, we're also energetic beings. These technologies are based on frequencies and energies. That made so much sense to me. It brought a kind of completeness to prevention. So this place is completely different from anywhere else because I really haven't come across this anywhere else. And as far as I know, no other company has products like these technologies. And the second thing I really like here, something I haven't found in other companies either, is in the partnership program. There are certain elements there that really caught my attention, things I haven't encountered anywhere else. And the same goes for the marketing plan. The marketing plan is incredible. And thanks to it, people who are just starting out, even in their first month, can already earn a nice amount of money. So this is different here. And this is what really interested me. I truly realize every single day that opportunities like this don't come around often. So that's about it.
I can confirm that because there are a lot of company partners, probably even those who know about it, who say exactly this, that you can really earn well here, but the system is set up very well. Do you think it's important to focus on prevention and supporting health? And why, in your opinion, are the products from Vieda specifically? Can they play an important role in prevention?
Sure, that's a very good question. I've actually been involved with health prevention my whole life because I live by the motto that an ounce of prevention is better than 3 kilograms of cure, right? And since I'm someone who doesn't like going to doctors, in fact, I hardly ever go, it doesn't make sense to me to take medication. And I also think that all those invasive interventions, surgeries, and so on are not the way to go either. I'm not really on board with that. So, that's why prevention, because I see the point in helping yourself and preventing those problems, those health problems. And since our side is the way it is, really poor nutritionally, I consider dietary supplements, but quality dietary supplements, to be truly important because they make up for what's missing in the diet. They eliminate the harmful stuff. They cleanse, they harmonize things, so maybe, I don't know, but I do know that right now our nutrition is really weak, or the nutritional content in our foods is really low. And over the last 50 years, the nutrient content has dropped by about 70 to 80%. So it's really, really poor in nutrients. And that's why I see a huge value in taking dietary supplements. Maybe the time will come when we'll once again have foods that are truly high quality and as they should be. But right now, it is what it is. That's why I consider it very important to take dietary supplements, but not just any kind. I never buy them at the pharmacy because many of them are simply in tablet form, and I call that expensive urination. Basically, you just end up flushing it out along with the energies of those medications, and that's just not it. So, when it comes to supplements, I really choose quality ones. And here, everything is based on, or everything is in line with, the principles of traditional Chinese medicine. According to ancient Chinese recipes, according to the old Chinese wisdom of combinations, of course, combined with science, but with real science. And those frequencies of energy, as I already mentioned, I actually see the future of medicine precisely in those frequencies and those technologies, those energies. So, all of this together makes perfect sense to me because truly prevention is cheaper, more convenient, and more pleasant than having to deal with and put out the fire only after the problem has already arisen, right? So, of course, it's not just about dietary supplements, it's not just about technologies, but it definitely also includes the choice of foods, the quality of food, the combination of foods, physical activity, yes, the ability to manage stress, meaning there are various ways to compensate for stress. So, all of that is part of it. But high quality dietary supplements with high absorption and those technologies, that's what makes sense to me. For me, it fulfills these requirements and this prevention, right? That's the point of it.
I agree. It's definitely like when someone takes supplements, but the cells are without energy, so the supplements aren't even absorbed. But when we regain energy and use supplements, the body comes alive and is healthy.
I just like to add that I literally see this nutritional therapy in Vienna as cellular nutrition, literally. And many times I have to laugh because here I see this bond, I see the cellular nutrition, and then what we buy in those supermarkets. Those are the supplements. So at the moment, sometimes I really have to laugh because I see it the other way around now. You know, it should be the opposite. We should actually be getting our nutrition from those foods, but since there really aren't any nutrients there, or there's just so little of them, I see it flipped. So I literally see this as cellular nutrition because the ingredients are chosen with great care. The components, the ratio of those components are all selected very carefully, simply selected. So that's why the absorption is really high, and it truly is literally cellular nutrition. And then we have dietary supplements in those foods. So it's kind of a little funny, but that's just how I see it at the moment. So that's that. That's all I wanted to say about it.
How do you think Viadol can change people's lives, not just in terms of health, but also in terms of everyday life? How can Viadol change a person?
Well, I think it can really make a big difference because a person can heal themselves, but it's always about taking responsibility for your own health into your own hands. The idea that, yes, I live the way I live, I get sick, I go to the doctor, doctor, here I am, cure me, that just doesn't work. If a person doesn't take responsibility for their own health, they can never, never, never truly heal completely, you know? So, yeah, basically, I see the point in the fact that people can heal themselves at home in their own environment, and not just themselves, but the whole family as well, whether through nutrition therapy or these technologies. Of course, I'm not even talking about lifestyle, which should go without saying. And at the same time, they can also improve their finances because, as we've already discussed, the marketing here is really very generous and people don't have to wait half a year to earn some money. They can build up some income, but it can be done in just 1 month. So, really, I see it not only in myself, but in many colleagues as well, that this has literally turned people's lives around, including mine, but in a positive sense. It truly can change your life, both by improving your health and your finances, which is great.
One last question, and with this, we'll finish the interview. If you had to choose one thing that best describes, sums up what it gives, what would it be?
Cooperation. And with that comes a sense of belonging, a human touch, a human dimension. I really found that here, even when I met the president, he goes out among the people. He's Chinese, and I was really surprised by how much humanity he had, simply, and the support for cooperation, but not just cooperation, also for the family. For example, they have these family vacations here, which happen twice a year. They encourage whole families to go, for people to go with their family members, with those closest to them. This isn't really very common these days, but here it's actually encouraged. And that cooperation, that sense of belonging, maybe it's also thanks to our, okay, some people really, really established this from the very beginning, and she really supports this cooperation. Simply, let's help each other and we'll all do well. So I think that's probably it. Yeah, but at the same time, there's also China. Just, China. I know that China is, well, a leader in technology. So that was also something that maybe I should have mentioned that in the first question. So that's it.
All right, so thank you very much for your time. I sincerely wish you the best of luck, both to you and your team, and to all the people around you.
Janko, thank you. And I wish you the same, especially that you succeed, that you find in science what you're looking for, and that you find what you joined for.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening and best of luck.
Thank you, you too. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay, so